to love somebody the way I love you. Hello friends, my name is Kevin. Welcome back. Today we're taking a trip to my favorite place, Australia. And who thinks of Australia without thinking of the Bee Gees? Yes, the classic band that we all know and love from Saturday Night Fever. I just had to do a Bee Gees song because I so much enjoyed my trip to Australia back in the day. Sydney Harbor, Bondi Beach, and don't forget about Tim Tams and Vegemite. You guys know what I'm talking about. So today we're going to take a look at the chord progression and the strumming pattern for the classic song To Love Somebody by the Bee Gees. And I would like to know, you guys could comment below here and tell me, what's your favorite Bee Gees song? Or what's your favorite Bee Gees album? Are you more of an early Bee Gees fan, or are you more in this Stayin' Alive, disco, chest hair, Barry Gibb fan when he found his falsetto? Hard to say, both pretty classic. But I would love to hear from you guys and let me know. Let's get tuned up and let's try to watch Kevin sing a little falsetto today. All right, let's dive into the intro for this song. So the first chord that we need is an A major chord. So the A major is played with our middle finger on the G string and our index finger on the C string on the first fret. So that chord looks like this, and you can check out the diagram below. I will also note, as a disclaimer here, I'm using a low G string on top here, so my uke will sound a little bit warmer than yours at home if you're using the high G string. Just a little disclaimer there. The second chord that we need for the intro is a G major chord. It's played with index, ring, and middle finger here on the second and third fret. The third chord we'll use for the intro is a D major chord. So for D major, you can play it a couple different ways. I might play it a few different ways throughout the day here. Middle, ring, and index on the, middle, ring, and pinky here on the second fret on the G, C, and E strings, and that sounds like this. You may also see me play it with a full bar version here, fully barring the second fret with my pinky out on the fifth fret as well. So those are the only chords you need here for the intro section. Now the intro section is just going to use a series of single down strums. It goes down, down on A, down, down on G, one single down strum on D, and then a single down strum on A. So again, it's down, 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 down. And then, if you listen to the recording, you'll hear a little part where there's a harp playing. So the timing of that is just going to be an 8 count. So what I do when the harp part comes in, and you'll have to kind of listen to the recording when this happens, but you're just simply going to do single down strum on A with a 4 count, and then do that again with a 4 count. So let's try this. This will all be laid out below here at the bottom of the screen. So just try to follow along. We'll just go through the intro nice and slow. So I'll just count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, G, D, A, harp part. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. So that's the intro section. If you need to rewind back and play along with that a couple times, but you're going to have more opportunities to do that in the play along. So let's jump into the verse. So the verse of the song, we will use, again, the A major chord, a D chord, a G chord, but we have 2 additional chords. And that's what I think makes this song a little trickier than your average C, G, A minor song that we always play on our ukes. This song is going to make you learn the B minor chord, which is played like this, with our index finger barring the bottom 3 strings in the 2nd fret, and our ring finger here on the G string on the 4th fret. So that's a nice little minor chord there. And from there, I know you guys are going to hate me for this. Well, hate's a strong word. Don't hate me for this, but we're gonna do the E major chord. And I know we don't incorporate it often. So the E major chord, you may have seen it played like this, with your ring finger barring the top 3 strings on the 4th fret and your index finger on the 2nd fret on the A string. So that's one way to play an E chord. If that is not working for you, if you say, Kevin, you're making me contort my hands, this hurts. Okay, here's option number 2. Middle, ring, and pinky over the top 3 strings on the 4th fret with your index finger on the A string on the 2nd fret. Same sound, more fingers required. So it's up to you. And then I'll give you one more option, which is this is kind of the, you know, hey, I'm trying to try to avoid the E chord. You can try to play the E7 chord over it. It works. It's not the actual chord they're using in the song, but if you're looking for shortcuts, sometimes shortcuts are okay. You can play an E7 chord there in place of the E major with your index, middle, and ring finger here on the 1st and 2nd fret. So those are the chords we'll use for the verse section. So the strumming pattern we'll use for the verse and the chorus section is down, down, up, up, down, followed by up, down, up. So follow me here again. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. So try that with me once. Here we go. I'll just count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. So each time that we do that pattern, that will count for 1 time. So the cool thing is, the majority of this song, you're gonna play each one of the chords 1 time. So once you lock into this pattern, it's just kind of a matter of sticking with it and building consistency. So let's take a look now at going through the entire verse chord progression. If you wanna follow along on the bottom of the screen here, I'll be following that pattern. So the chord sequence is A, and then we'll travel to B minor here. So when I do that, I'm going to take my ring finger and kind of hover it over the G string so that I can just make this move like this. From there, we're going back to the D chord and then the A chord. The second half of the verse here is G, A, and then, oh, wait for it, the E major chord, and then D. So let's try that with the strumming pattern, nice and slow. We'll do each one of those chords 1 time. So just try to follow along here. I know these chords are a little trickier, but if you're looking to kind of push yourself a little bit, learn the E chord, learn some bar chords, these songs are a great opportunity to do so. So here we go, starting on the A chord. I'll count us nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, A, down, up, down, to the G, down, up, A, to the E, to the D. So for each verse, that sequence of chords happens twice. So if you learn it, you've got both of the verses covered, which is pretty awesome. So let's now take a look at the chorus. You don't need any new chords for the chorus, and you don't need a new strumming pattern, which is all good news here. So the chord progression for the chorus section goes from A to the E chord. So again, you could slide your middle finger over here if you're doing the 4-finger E. There's a little trick for you. Or you could use your ring finger to move over to that E chord. Either way, you're moving from A to E, which is a very common chord change, so it's something good that will reappear in other songs. So it's not just for this tune. From the E chord, we move back to the D chord. So if you're playing that 4-finger version of E, making the move back here to this D chord is pretty easy if you already have your 3 fingers down to move back. So to kind of simplify things and make a shortcut, that might be the best way to play it. And then we just go back to an A chord, and then when it hits the tag line, to love somebody, we go to an E chord, to love somebody, to a D chord, and then end on an A chord. So those are the only chords you need for the first chorus. One little note here, when you play the second chorus at the end of the song, and I'll do this in the full play-along version, and I'll mention this as well in the short play-along today, there's just one additional chord that bridges the double chorus together, and that's an E chord. So just make a note of that. It'll also appear on the song sheet, which you can get at AllForUke.com. So going into the chorus, each chord is played 1 time through the strumming pattern. So follow along below, and we're just going to play through the chorus nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, D. Back to the A. Back to E. To the D. And end on A. So that is the chorus section for To Love Somebody. All right, now we're gonna do a consolidated play along for this tune. So we're gonna start with the intro, do verse 1 and the chorus. So this first time through, I'm just gonna kind of go pretty slow, talk through with the chords, and just kind of go section to section, just so you guys get some repetitions playing through these tricky little E and B minor chords. So we're gonna start with the intro, and I'll count us in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, G, D, A. Then the harp part, A, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3 to the verse. Down, up, down, up, B minor. To the D. Back to A, up, down, back to G, down, up, A. Here comes the E chord, and then D. Let's do that again. Back to A, down, up, going back to D. A. Going to the G chord, up, down, to the A, up, down, and then E, and D, into the chorus, A, E, D, and A. E and D and end with A. All right, now we're going to get a little closer to the song tempo. Again, I will have a PDF at AllForUke.com that you can print out, follow along as we go here. We're just going to go again, verse, chorus, and intro for this section, and I'm going to sing the words so you can kind of get a better feel for the tune. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, G, G, D, A, harp part. A, 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3. There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. G. I want my life to be live with you, live with you. There's a way, and everybody say do each and every little thing. What good does it bring if I ain't got you? If I ain't got you. Chorus. You don't know what it's like, baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, love somebody the way I love you. For all my friends in Australia, that was for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with the E and B minor chord. I know they're tricky, but I promise you if you spend some time with them, incorporate them into a song, you're going to benefit from that in the end. So if you're watching from another country around the world, I would like to know, what are some of your favorite bands from your home country? We're compiling a list here as we do songs around the world, so leave those in the comments below, along with your favorite Bee Gees song or album. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, click that alert bell so you know when the next video is coming out. If you don't have time to watch today, you can pre-save this so you can watch it later. That's always a good idea. I've been doing that with a lot of videos lately. Don't forget, go to AllForUke.com. I have a song sheet for this, and in the description I will leave a link to the full play-along, which will be coming out a few days after this tutorial. So my name's Kevin. Thanks so much to my friends out there playing uke with me. Take care.
This sunny day